The world is a scary place. At any second your life could change right before your eyes, which is why they say to value every second of your life, and to go about each day as if it's your last. Some people have had scary near-death experiences, or have gone through very tragic events that have changed their lives forever. Thankfully, some have survived to tell the tale. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I'm bringing you the top 10 scary situations people escaped from. Starting off this countdown, we have Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was an infamous serial killer who confessed to murdering 28 women, but it's thought that his number was probably higher. Now, in order to trick women, Bundy would often pretend to be a cop named Officer Rosalind. In 1974, Bundy targeted a woman named Carol DeRanche, who was browsing a bookstore. He approached her and told her that someone had broken into her car and that she had to accompany him to the station. This was obviously a ploy to get her alone and then kill her. While Carol was in his car with Bundy, she knew something was off. She could smell alcohol on his breath, and the car door handles were removed from the inside so she couldn't get out. She started to panic and Bundy attacked her and handcuffed her. Carol fought for her life. She found a way to open the door and then escaped. In our 9th spot, we have Stranger Danger. Posted by Zai on Reddit, they shared the time that they were almost killed as a kid. So he was home alone when a woman came to his house, asking if his parents were home. Now, his parents always taught him to lie and say that they were home, even if they weren't. Smart kid, and thankfully he did this. This woman ended up leaving. The next day, he found out that the same woman went across the street and murdered the 2 residents that were home alone. In our 8th spot, we have the Kidnapper. So this story was posted on Reddit by the user My Name is Meg Not Egg in response to a post made about scary experiences. She shared the time that she was 15 and almost kidnapped. So she was walking home alone from work when a Jeep drove by her. The man in the car waved at her and then circled back around and pulled up right in front of her. He then started yelling at her for her to get into the car. He got out and lunged at her, trying to grab her, but thankfully she dodged him and ran behind his car. She kept running until he was no longer following her. A few years later, she found out that he was arrested after attacking another girl that same night. Moving on down the list, number 7, we have Mary Vincent. Mary Vincent was hitchhiking at the side of the road when she was picked up by a truck driver named Larry Singleton. That's when she was attacked by him. She begged to be set free, and that's when he sliced off one of her arms right above the elbow. But Mary didn't give up, she fought back. But Larry cut off her other arm. He then tossed her body off of a 30-foot cliff. But she survived. She put her elbows in the mud to stop the bleeding, and then she hiked all the way up the cliff to signal for help. She was then taken to a hospital and survived this whole tragedy. And at number 6, we have the family murder. When this individual was 17, she overheard her father and his friend planning a murder. The murder of her mother, sister, and herself. He planned to burn the house down while they were asleep. That same day, she caught her father loading up his car with some of his personal items that he wanted to save from the fire. He then drove those items over to his friend's house. Now, she wasn't supposed to be home, so the father had no clue that his daughter knew of his plan. When he left, she went to call the cops, but he had cut the phone lines. She then waited outside, and thankfully her mother and sister got home before her dad got back. They quickly packed up some stuff and fled. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the abandoned building. So back in the 90s, Reddit user Black Machine was out with his friend fooling around. They decided to sneak into an abandoned house that was in their neighborhood. And good thing that they did, because in the abandoned house they found 2 girls handcuffed and gagged in one of the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the girls were kidnapped and brought there the night before. They are so lucky that they were found. In our 4th spot, we have the Psychopath. So one night, a girl and a group of her friends were out having dinner at a restaurant. When they finished, it was about 1 AM and they were walking back home. Now, the night before, one of the girls broke up with their boyfriend. And what do you know? Out of nowhere, the boyfriend approaches them and slices his ex's stomach open with a knife. The girl was left bleeding, holding her own intestines. Thankfully, an ambulance arrived quickly and put all her organs back into place and sewed her back up. She sometimes suffers from digestive problems, but at least she survived the attack. Her ex, on the other hand, got 13 years in jail. Moving on to number 3, we have Bethany Hamilton. Bethany Hamilton is one of the most well-known professional surfers out there. Her story is so motivating in a number of ways. When Bethany was just 13 years old, she was attacked by a shark while out surfing with her friend and their family. The shark grabbed her left arm and ripped it off. Bethany was losing blood quickly and she was rushed to the hospital. She lost 60% of her blood and had to undergo a number of surgeries. But this didn't stop her. She continued on with surfing, no matter how challenging it was with one hand. She didn't let this attack get in the way of her dreams. And the fact that she was able to enter the ocean after all that, I personally don't think I would have been strong enough to go back into the ocean after a shark attack. She is so brave and strong. Coming in at number 2, we have Caitlin Beatles. In August of 2009, Caitlin Beatles was out spending her day at the lake with some friends. They were jet skiing, having fun, when her jet ski flipped. While trying to get back on, a boat dragging a canoe headed right towards her. The driver was looking behind him and didn't see Caitlin in the water. The boat hit her and the propellers chopped up her left leg, tearing through her muscles, nerves, and skin. It also sliced a major artery leading to her heart. The metal pole attached to the boat's propeller went right through her leg and broke her femur. The water around her started to turn red. She could see her muscles and skin floating in the water. Caitlin was then picked up by a helicopter, but since she lost so much blood, she actually flatlined and was pronounced dead. But the paramedic kept going, determined to save her. The next thing she remembers is waking up in the hospital during her surgery. She could hear the doctor saying how that she was going to lose both of her legs. But Caitlin was lucky. The doctor saved both of her legs. She had tons of stitches, and for the first couple of weeks, all she could do was lay in bed. She couldn't even talk. But she managed to survive this terrible accident, which is incredible. And in fact, Caitlin Beadle was Justin Bieber's ex-girlfriend. And in our number 1 spot, we have 9/11. Now, we all know how tragic this day was. Over 2,000 innocent people lost their lives and thousands were left heartbroken. But a man named Michael Wright was one of the few people that managed to escape. Michael was working on the 81st floor of the World Trade Center when all of a sudden he felt the whole building shake. The floor split open and some of the walls crumbled. Michael immediately headed for the stairs and tried to remain calm while making his way down. However, along the way he learned the horrors of what happened. On some floors he saw dead bodies everywhere, none of them intact. The windows were stained with blood. He stopped to help some people along the way, but he was panicked and didn't think he was going to make it out. In fact, he almost didn't. At one point he heard another boom and everything went black. He was covered and trapped under some rubble. But he managed to escape seconds before his entire building came tumbling down. And that's all for today's video. Now that was a pretty intense way to end the video, so let's cheer ourselves up and move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from my video Top 10 Scary Montreal Urban Legends Part 2. Jay Harris commented, "You doing a lot of coughing and a lot of sniffling makes us start to wonder." Okay, that video that I did, funny story. It's not really that funny. But they just set up the lights and I guess it was super dusty in here because when I was talking I was inhaling all the dust, and this was the one video that I didn't bring my water up with me. So I'm here like, "No, I'm okay, Chris, don't worry." Like trying to make it through, and my throat was so dry. That's why I was coughing and sniffling. So I'm okay, I'm healthy. Thank you for checking up on me, but it was the mixture of the new bright lights and the heat just drying out everything. Caitlin Milton commented, "Lindsay, always digging your videos, girl. Thanks again. My son, 7 Boo, would love a shout out. He likes watching your videos before bed." Is your son's name really Boo? Because that is so cute. I love that name. And he's only 7 years old and he's allowed to watch our videos? Whew, and before bed? He's brave. Wow. Leah Montenegro commented, "Hi Lindsay, I love you. Can you please say hi?" It's okay if you don't. Oh. It's okay if you don't see this. Please, guys, don't hate on me. Well, I saw it, and hi! Love you too, random person that just Yeah, I love you. Love all you guys. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see ya when I say ya. Now, she shared the time that she shared the time that when she shared the time that when she was she shared the time of when she shared the story of she shared a story about
that works. You had it.
Now she shared the time that she was 15. Oh, whatever. But at least she survived.